Hey guys, what's going on? This is Marshall Dice, known as Adam Campbell.
General Dice, Todd Evangelista.
And we're live here at AnCon 2015 behind the booth with...
I'm Bryan Borgman, and with Bailey Records and creator of Kaiju Kaos, a tabletop miniatures game.
And what is Kaiju Kaos?
Kaiju Kaos is a 28 millimeter, so your standard like Dungeons & Dragons 40K sized tabletop miniatures game that I created. This is actually its 5th year here at AnCon, and it's been a passion of mine. It's something that I created to incorporate anything and everything that I like.
All right, and what do you like?
Well, first and foremost, it is about big giant monsters. And so I've got anything from small 1-inch monsters to my ever popular growing line of 50 millimeter Smackdown monsters. And I've got much larger monsters, including up here on the top shelf. I've got some 10 to 12 inch monsters, including the People Eater, Gourdzilla, and a couple other original creations.
Is that
I see the Con on the Cob monster up there too.
Yes, it is. There is a Coblin up there that
right.
I created for Con on the Cob about 4 years ago.
So what was your inspiration for Kaiju Kaos?
I've worked on numerous tabletop miniatures games over the years, and I really wanted to do something on my own. And my original idea was more of a traditional skirmish-style game with a lot of humans. And actually, my buddy Klein Siegenthaler, who's here next to me, he is a sculptor as well as an illustrator, and he had a couple monster designs. And so we decided to incorporate them right into the game at the beginning, and from there it's really transformed into a monster game with humans still there, but they're sort of on the outskirts.
Now, does he do the majority of the sculpting?
Klein does the majority of my large sculpting. He's done things like this dead dinosaur, dead cyclops, some of the creatures that you see here in the front. He did the People Eater, he did the giant King Kong monster. I've done a lot of the smaller stuff for like the 50 millimeter line of Smackdown figures and some of our smaller metal miniatures. I also then contract hire other people when I need them.
Gotcha.
And then the sculpt is, you have what, a resin mold, or you have a mold and then you produce it in resin, right?
Correct. Yeah, we everybody sculpts in different materials. I prefer a 2-part epoxy. Klein is akin to using a Super Sculpey. But then, yeah, we take it, we send it off to Atchison Creations, who's a good friend of mine, and we work together. He makes silicone molds, and then we do all the casting. It's all hand-poured resin casting.
I like your gelatinous cubes, too.
Thank you. I did those. We actually ran a Kickstarter. Atchison Creations ran a Kickstarter at the beginning of the year for fantasy, and I said, hey, I want to throw a gelatinous cube in there, and they proved to be very popular for the Kickstarter. And for the Kickstarter, we did the traditional green and blue, and then I decided to make a whole rainbow of colors there.
And I also see on your table here, you also have some music available. What's that about?
Right. Originally, I got into working in the game industry as a musician. I was a musician for a long time, and I felt that, hey, I could make soundtracks for role-playing games. And so I got a license back in 2003 and 4 with Mongoose Publishing, and since then I've just been rolling out new music and new ideas for different games. And I also have 2 soundtracks now for Kaiju Kaos as well.
Sweet. So not only when you're smacking down, you can listen to some rad tunes while you're smacking down.
Right. I've got music. I've also got up here on the rack, I've got 2 different variations of rule books. I've got a short story book called Tales of Chaos that I wrote all the fiction. Gives you some short story ideas, a whole in-depth timeline of kind of all the crazy horrors that are going on in the world of Kaiju Chaos. I also have a coloring book because I do a lot of all ages shows. And I had so much great artwork that we use for like the stat cards and everything, so I just decided to compile it all into one book and that I can print cheaply and sell to kids or anyone really.
And for anyone who's looking for the game, remember it's spelled K-A-O-S.
Yes.
Chaos.
Yes, 2 Ks. Kaiju Kaos with Ks.
Well, where can people find where can people find this wonderful game besides AnCon?
Right. Yeah, I do a lot of shows. So that's always a great idea, but if you're not able to make it to those shows, you can go to kaijukaos.com or also atchisoncreations.com, and it'll take you directly to our web store for both of those.
Gotcha. All
now
right.
you can use, with these rules, any figures that you have.
Correct. My original idea when I was creating the rules was to be more of a play with what you own model. So I do have, like I said, I have stats for humans, but I'll have humans like in power armor. And so people can use their models from Reaper or from Games Workshop or from any other leading manufacturer. They can also use models I made. One of my most popular games scenarios that we use for Kaiju Chaos is called Clash of the Colossals. And we use like the big 11, 12-inch vinyl Godzilla toys, and we fight with Shogun Warrior toys and Voltron and Transformers. And so yeah, and I have all kinds of stats for those. Curbing the whole intellectual property thing. So we call things like Godzilla is the atomic lizard monster. But yeah, it's really designed to be able to play with what you have. But of course, we hope you like and see what we have here, and that you'll buy it.
So who would win in a fight? Galactus versus Cthulhu?
That's a really good question, and I think it would be all up to the dice.
But remember, Silver Surfer is neutral. He doesn't help.
It's all up to the dice in that one.
Well, anyway, continuing our coverage here from AnCon, this is Marshall Dice knows Adam Campbell.
And General Dice Todd Evangelista.
And
Bryan Borgman with Bailey Records and Kaiju Chaos.
I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.